And I hit the ground running. All right. We're going live, baby. I don't know what that massive drop to V-shaped recovery was, but looks like we're about to break this 290.50 level, baby. I'm going to go for it in 1 second. Let me set something up. It looks like we're getting right up here. This is NVIDIA. I've been playing NVIDIA all day. Just switched over to the live streaming account, so I just took a small little trade in NVIDIA right before I hopped on and made a quick little $100 and some. So I'm looking for a big break here. I might actually end up buying like 5 to 10 contracts here. See if we can make a quick $500. It's going to be a pretty expensive trade because I'm going to go for the 290s. You could always go for the 290, 250s. If it breaks, it'll still move. So I'm going to go a little bit more expensive route just because of the intrinsic value. It's Monday and they move really slow. So that's what I'm looking for right now. Give me 1 second. Let me finish this off. Let's get it, baby. Good day profits for you? Oh, yeah. Real good day. Real good day, man. Just switched over to the live streaming account. Looks like I'm having a little bit of difficulties right now, but I'm looking for this NVIDIA drop. I'm still in one contract over my other account right now. I'm just leaving it for a runner. I might swing it just because I bought them earlier today. I bought them right around this level. I think I bought this candle. It went against me a little bit, and then I stayed in for the trade and ended up selling around 490-ish on my last sellout. So I purchased them for about 250, let them ride. I only had about 12 contracts in total, so it wasn't a massive trade, but still a couple K in the account. So great Monday to start out with. Mondays are usually slow, but now let's look for the live stream account here. So some afternoon commentary for you guys. I got some other stuff that I have to take care of usually, so that's why I'm on the afternoons now. So I'm looking at this high of the day break for NVIDIA, and the reason I'm looking for this is on the daily chart. What was that? Hello? SPY liquidity grab was beautiful on the 50. Yeah, I missed that. I was actually out when that happened, but that was literally only 10 minutes long. So this is what I'm looking for. This 290.58 break. I saw it yesterday, this bullish engulfing. I love taking these little pullback guys for the breakout on a bullish engulfing that has not yet hit its high yet. So it's getting really close. It's about 20 cents away. I can't imagine it goes much higher. If it does, it'll start to squeeze a little bit here. Volume's all over the place, so I'm not so sure how confident I am in this. It's starting to form a little bit of a cup and handle. I might wait for a little bit of a pullback or this test. It won't be a quick trade. It'll be more so like a buy and hold type of thing. And if I get stopped out, it's because it rejects this and double tops. So we're going to wait here. It already rejected this level once. We're right at that level again. We got about 5 cents to go. It's not going to pay out a ton because I missed this, but there she goes. She get that 290.65. It's really kind of unbelievable lately how fast things have been breaking out. towards their high. And another one that I'm watching that I caught a bag on a video on Friday, and I just caught a smaller bag today. But in total, this is a good amount of money. Almost 5 figures from these 2 days just trading one stock. And something that's setting up very, very similarly to this that has not yet broken out that you guys should put on your radar is Meta. So very similar, starting to get a little bit of a push here. I'm thinking actually about swinging this stock, option contract for like a couple weeks out, just because I think it would pay pretty well. Meta is a pretty decent mover, especially when you get there. And at 240, this is this week, but if I do 2 weeks out, 240s are still only 400, and in the monies are $940. That could be an easy 100% return if this starts to cook. So I'm looking at a video right now on the 15-minute chart over here, and this looks like it's going to 292.50. So I think that maybe potentially we could take that for a breakout. Meta would be something I would position for later on. NVIDIA doesn't have to be as quick of a trade as SPX usually is for me, just because of how close it is. 1 second. I just sent those contracts over. It looks like we're rejecting it a little bit, that new high. So we got it. Here's that uptrend. We could try to go for these 292.50s and hold them for a little bit. They're at 370. We're just at 385. I'd see these could probably get up to maybe 420. It's not the best risk to reward ratio. It's actually pretty terrible later on in the day. If we want to play anything, we could play the SPX, just get some quick scalps in here. I don't know how much this is going to continue to go, though. Current hot overbought stocks is 70. I'm looking at this. Deck always comes in here hot with the penny stocks. But this is the high of the day right here of the 413.14. And I think that we're probably going to retest this. So if you want a quick little scalp on the S&P 500, I think that the bullish momentum has taken over, whatever the hell this was. I missed out on this since I just got here, but above this 413, I think we probably could push towards this new high of the day. Let me take a look at the daily chart real quick. And right about 414, it looks like it has $1 rejected here and here. So I'm going to draw this level real quick for everybody, and then that would kind of be the target price. So I'll make this a little bit green so it's a little bit more noticeable, and I'll make this yellow. So boom, a break of this could see that push. So this is that high of the day mark. Be careful because the volume is starting to fade off a little bit. We could see a nice little downside dump. I honestly might play the put side up here. I know it kind of looks bullish, but for some reason I'm starting to like the downside, but I will go with the momentum as this broke down completely, and then we got that buy right back up. I can't believe that it wouldn't just not continue to go up there. So there's 3 things I have on watch right now. It's one, this SPX play at this level. I don't know if I'm going to go for the rejection or the spike to 414 yet. I guess it all depends at that level. And the pullback maybe start to head down towards this VWAP line. So I'm probably going to stay away from the SPX for now. I am plotting for this meta play for a long term here pretty soon. And even if it's not long term, I would look for one of those all day runners in meta and then just let it go. Oh, these are 245. These contracts could go stupid. The 245s right here for 2 weeks out, May 26th. Maybe is there an expiration for my birthday? No. But May 26th would be pretty dope because 245s right here are only 260 a piece, and in the monies are 940. These could be a really, really, really big trade for the longer term. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away. We do have, I guess Deck just put it in there. We do have, was it PPI data? It's not CPI data. What do we have this week? We have some sort of data this week. I forget which one it is. There's literally data every week. I'm going to look it up right now. DailyFX.com. I always go to dailyfx.com. Everybody has their own website that they check the economic calendar, but I always go to dailyfx. And I look at the next 7 days for the U.S. We do have the inflation rate. So inflation rate is tomorrow? It's on Wednesday. Pre-market inflation rate, and then we have PPI on Thursday. Okay, so that's important. Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday at 10. You'll see some volatility there, and then after that, we'll probably chop around. So not too crazy of a week. I know that everybody's waiting for that inflation data. The forecast is 5.5%, so it's literally hovering around exactly where it was. But inflation is forecasted to go higher. So the Forecast is 5%. The previous inflation rate is 5%. This is a core inflation rate. It's a core inflation rate is different than the inflation rate, but they're going to be reporting on both numbers. Looks like it's starting to come down a little bit here. 9.1, 8.5, 7.7, 6.46, and then 5. That's pretty good. Inflation's starting to come down, but once we start cutting rates and deflation comes in, not a good sign. So could be short-term bullish, but I'm not all in on that yet. There is hopefully tomorrow is like one of those big days where the market runs before CPI and PPI because, well, we could run. We could really run in meta. So that's my biggest watch for tomorrow. NVIDIA already hit my running point. It's at 290.50 right now. But these contracts aren't really moving. I don't know if this is worth your guys' time. The big play was catching it before it took off. And now it's still taking off and it could squeeze up a little bit, but it did just hit that high of the day. So it's always kind of tough to tell which way it's going to go. Easy play this morning if you paid attention to, I don't know if you guys are on my weekly newsletter, but I always come out with a weekly newsletter every single week on Sunday. So if you want to subscribe to that, it is on my website. I always give my trade that I'm looking for the week and update on the earnings calendar completely free. So a little value add for you guys right to your emails every Sunday. Microsoft, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to just keep going. I know it is, but I don't see the value in this. Maybe it goes up to like 430. Could be like $30 a contract. I buy 10 of those. I risk $4,000 for $300. Sounds kind of stupid, but it is squeezing. SPY might be the only other trade that I would potentially take today at this yellow line. Kind of sitting right here. I'll look at the SPX contracts. We'll see how they're moving. Because that is pretty bullish right now that it might hit that high of the day, but it could probably hit it in reverse as it did right at open. So I might go same day expiration. I know that's pretty risky, even though it's not too bad. Let's see what we got here. These 41.45s, as you can tell, the contracts are super cheap, but they move like crazy. So don't over risk yourself. Don't do too much damage. These things went from 20 cents to $200, 1,000% trade from here to here. I don't know who caught that, but congrats. Also, damn, look at NVIDIA. Wow. Dickheads. NVIDIA literally just shot up. It's probably going to that 292.50 just ran. Yeah, so it only went up like $40 a contract off that shoot, but still pretty good. It would have been good to take that, but I'm not risking $4,000 for $300. That risk to reward ratio is just not there. I probably should have held. I still have that one contract in my other account just riding for me, so I have the 290s. So I wonder what that is. I'm getting a bunch of intrinsic value now, so it's at 560. So it's up about $300 a contract right now. Just that last one that's riding. Sold the other 11 that I took this morning for about I think it was like 4.5 and then 4.95. So got one runner still squeaking out some profit for me. I think I'm going to let it go. I think I'm going to let that one swing just because I feel like this could start ending up towards that $300 threshold. And NVIDIA is so strong. It's like one of the strongest stocks I've seen in a long time. It kind of reminds me of 2020, honestly, the way that this thing has been moving. This is the weekly chart. That's it. This thing has just been straight up. And the daily chart's even more insane to me because I think it got down to $90, $108. It got down to $108, and this thing has just been ripping on a tear. $108 to $300 in what, 5-6 months? Those are returns that people never see in their portfolios. So I'm watching that. I am watching Microsoft a little bit here too. It has a nice little inside candle. It could do something similar where it kind of breaks down and then has a nice little green run towards that 312. That'll be later on this week. But I think my biggest watch this week is going to be this Meta play and then potentially Tesla to that 175 mark. There is a gap fill right here. This is exactly what I was watching earlier. Didn't quite get there yet, so it's at 177. I think that we could probably end up getting to that point. There's another one at 176, but I think that the real gap fill is at 177. Could play both these levels, maybe sell some at 176, and then let some ride for that 177 run. But personally, I would probably buy these tomorrow rather than today. I'm not going to swing anything in Tesla just because Tesla, you have no idea what it's going to do ever. So I would look for some probably like 175, 177.50 calls tomorrow at open with some consolidation. If we get that push, I would look at Tesla calls and Meta calls. Right now, I'm not really seeing too much. Wow, this thing is going. 581 now. $292.50, $450. Damn. Okay, so $4,000 for $500. That sounds a little better. But I would have a nice stop loss on the other end. This thing just went crazy. It's probably going to go to that $300 level here in the near future, which I will trade. But for now, I'm going to let it ride. SPY, this is the only thing I want to take. This is the high of the day at the yellow line. Here's the green line. So I think I found my trade. It's going to be most likely the SPX real quick. Just hop in, see if we can get one nice trade. It could be the SPY too. You could always play tomorrow if you want to tail the SPX position, but I'm looking for a decent trade here. I don't think that you guys understand this yet, but I hate to trade Mondays. I think Mondays are the worst days of the week. I know a lot of people that never even touch a Monday trade, but for you guys, I will try a nice little quick scalp over here. But keep in mind on that. Keep your eyes set on that meta play because I really do feel like that's going to be starting to be a money printer here pretty soon. So, honestly, I might go into that. I actually think I'm going to play that. They're only 260 and they could be worth 900. They wouldn't be 900 because it's not 230. They'd probably be worth around like 700. So still about a 200% trade potentially. I want to see this meta play one more time. So I'm going to start off at the weekly chart, see if it looks bullish. It's still in this nice uptrend. This is another stock that just keeps going. Massive sell-off to 88. That is ridiculous. And then a daily chart here. This one is weird because there is this gap filled down to 221, 222-ish area. So I think it fell to 230. So it does have like about $8 more down if it really wanted to, if we caught some sellers in the market. But this is starting to form like a falling wedge pattern where it's breaking out like this. That's what I'm seeing right now. And I could see this retest of this 245. And I kind of like this on the daily chart. So let me take a peek on the hourly real quick. Hourly a little overextended on the Bollinger Band. Seen a couple pretty nice sell-offs in this early on in the mornings too. Seems like the buyers are starting to get exhausted from that early morning sell-off though. The last thing you want to do is buy into something that just dives overnight. 30-minute looks pretty good. 15-minute has space. 5-minute. I don't think it's going to go up $10 here very soon. I don't know if I want to swing this, but I'll probably wait till the day trade opportunity comes into play, and then I will go for it. If anybody sees what I'm seeing. You guys see that falling wedge pattern too? All right. What are we thinking here? I want to get in a trade, but Monday chops are pretty brutal. So I'm going to try to signal something real good here. NVIDIA, there she goes, man. There she goes. What a beautiful trade. I wish I would have held a little bit longer on as many as I had, but I'm never going to be upset. What are your signals with them? Bollinger Bands are a reversal play. So a lot of the times when I'm looking at a Bollinger Band play, it's a big-ass sell-off in a flat Bollinger Band. I'm taking the reversal. But a lot of the times when I'm on these Bollinger Band plays, I need to see some buyers in a lower shadow like this, like a long wick. If it forms a hammer candle, I'm in. I like every time. A hammer candle kind of looking like this down here at this bottom right here. This guy. This is like a lower shadow, and then if the body was at the very top and say it closes at the top at the bottom of this Bollinger Band, I would have taken that because it shows me a significant reversal is on its way. So that's usually what I would play. Right now, I'm not playing it, but I missed it. That's why I didn't see this massive drop that was coming. But this is a great play. I mean, $4 move in the last 30 minutes on a stock that doesn't expire till Friday. Whew. I know some people made some good money off of that. I wonder what happened. Was there like some news events or anything? I think I missed out on that. I was literally coming up. I was at the pool. I was having a real tough day sitting by the pool in UV of 10 down here in Tampa, Florida. Not a cloud in the sky. It was a pretty tough day. after making a couple $1,000s off NVIDIA. So I missed the volatility at the end of the day. I wasn't staring at the chart at the time, but I will do better. I'll be better. SPY new high of the day. Did it just push? I think it's right on that level. I don't think it's at the high of the day. Maybe it is. Oh yeah, it is a little bit. It's pushing, but these 41.45s are not paying. So I guess they did a little bit. 130 to 200. I'm going to give it just a little bit more. I'm going to wait to see its decision right here at this line. If it breaks through with volume, I'm in. If it starts to reject, I'll probably play the put side down to that VWAP level. So I'm just going to let it simmer itself out. But Meta will definitely be the play. I also bought 100 shares of coin, just for a little update. I bought 100 shares of coin in this account right before earnings. So I bought them around like 48 cost basis, and I am covered in these right now. So I have a covered call waiting for me at 58. I know it's at 57, 55. I have the covered call just for premium collection and some downside hedging. So if it starts to come down a little bit, then I collect all $400 in premium off the call I sold. But as it decays, I'll continue to collect it. But it's just for some downside collateral as Ethereum and Bitcoin are starting to get a little bit hurt. So they're both down about 7 to 8% today. So I am looking for an opportunity to sell these probably around 64, 65, and I would collect about, what is that, $1,300 on the trade. So it's just a share trade. It was only $4,900 on a share trade to collect about $1,400. So it's going to be patient for me. It's just shares that obviously don't expire, but I am going to collect some premium while I'm holding them by selling some covered calls against them. So I have a call sold at 58. If it expires above 58, I think the call expires next week, so I still have a full week for it. But that's where we are right now. And I did take a NVIDIA trade in here, just so you guys know. So here's the trade real quick. I'm in coin. I made a quick 131 off of NVIDIA right before I hopped on live. When at that little rebound, I caught a tail end of it. But this is my covered call position. I'm up $830 on the shares, just 100 shares, and I'm covered with one. So about $340 in collection I would get if it doesn't go above 58. And if it does go above 58, then I can keep the premium, let it expire, and then I would just sell my shares at 58. The only downside of that is if it's trading at 62, I have to sell it at 58 rather than 62, so I miss out on $400 of profit. But I collect that $340 in premium, so realistically, I only missed out on $60. So very limited risk to reward, especially now that I'm already up 17% on the shares, so it doesn't even matter. Hope that makes sense. You guys understand how to sell covered calls and sell cash secured puts, selling options? Does that make sense to you guys? It's a very, 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 very underrated strategy. You can literally collect an income for yourself by having money in there. Okay? BZEC flat top on Amazon. I hate trading Amazon. The premiums are awful, but I see what you're seeing, kind of. Seems to be it just broke its new high, and it's kind of rejecting a little bit. Slow moves. It's Monday. Not going to get too much opportunity today, honestly, unless you caught that morning move in the video with me. I talked about it in Dex Lobby, too, so hopefully somebody got that. But if not, that's okay. There's more. Always going to be more. But hope you guys know how to sell options too. Option buying is a good thing if you're a good trader. If you want time on your side and you want to play with the house, then you got to sell options. All right, here's the SPY. Let's put the SPY 15 and 30-minute chart up over here to the right. We got a nice little almost. I've never seen this before. This becomes a head and shoulders pattern on the 1 hour chart right here. And then we completely rally. And if you kind of block out this, this becomes an inverse head and shoulders. So they just completely 180'd the whole market. Everybody's like, what the hell? So, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised to see this at 417 again with this setup on the 1 hour chart. I love the 1 hour chart personally. I think it's the best chart to trade off of, to be honest. And if we reject this 414, there's no inverse head and shoulders. But if we get above this, we could have an easy 417.62 test. Easy. So I'm going to be careful on these 41.45s. We're getting close to it, but we are moving very, very slow. So maybe I'll end up going to the 41.40s because I don't really want to mess around with theta decay today. He's just dropped $100 here, so let's see what we got. This doesn't have enough volume for me to get involved. Usually I would try to take this put rejection off of this massive candle right here, which I might do anyway. Let's do it anyway. They're 290 on the puts. If I end up losing this, it'll be about 60 bucks. I'm just going to do one contract real quick just because I think it could pay a couple $100 right here. I'm going to go SPX 4140. I'm going to go put side looking for this rejection. It didn't fill me at 295, but hopefully it still does. It doesn't really want to get me in at 300. Did it just get me on both of those or just one? SPX, one contract. Only in on one at 300. So I'm looking for this drop down right here. If it gets back above this yellow line, I will cut this. I'm just going to keep it like a small stop. Probably like 260, honestly. Maybe 255. It's very, very slow, so I'm not even expecting this to be a good trade. So I'm only in on one. I'm just going to set my stop at 250. I think it could be a really good rejection, but it's too slow. So I think I'm just going to take the $50 loss here, let the theta get to it unless it rejects right now. Keep the stop real small. I'm going to do it 260. I'll have a $40 stop loss. I don't want to mess with this. I've been hating the SPX lately just because it just doesn't move at all. And no matter what side you go here, you're going to lose on it just because of theta decay. Later on in the day, it's better, but you really do have to catch like the perfect entry point, which I usually love to take the SPX, but it just hasn't been reacting too good. I didn't buy the SPY, I bought the SPX, and it's the same day expiration. I wouldn't tail this trade right now. This is just a dabble. It's just one contract to see if we can get the momentum. If I got the momentum, I would start buying more contracts with the momentum, but I think I'm going to get stopped out $40 here. And that's okay. There she goes. So lost $40 on that trade, but it was just one contract. Just trying to dabble to see what we can get here. There's no movement. Mondays are terrible. But just so you guys can see on the call side there, there's 41.45s. Yeah, I usually try to go in with one contract just to see how it's going to react. See that even that move only moved 40 cents, 45 cents. So there's just really nothing going on here. You can tell when you're not going to get paid on the SPX when this axis right here has 412.75, 413, 412.50. That just shows you that these candlesticks are not moving whatsoever. The best move for the SPX today was this hammer candle right here on the reversal. I probably would have taken that if I saw that. I did not see that. And then this one. This massive volatility causes a lot of movement in the SPX. Obviously, it went from $400 down to $45 a piece, and then right back up to $400. So about 1,000%. Notice how it's just sitting here. So I'm going to get off the SPY for a little bit. It seems like NVIDIA is the only thing that has any sort of moves today. I don't like anything else, guys. I don't want to force anything. I did just give away $40, $45 just to feel something. But honestly, my biggest confidence play right now is my coin shares with some covered positions, just because this thing is I feel like this thing's going to like 63, 64, potentially even back up to like 73. I could hold it long term, but I mean, it all depends. We'll see what happens when it gets to that point. of my 100 shares just kind of chilling. I mean, I'm in a really good spot. I'm already up $800 on the position, $900 on the position because I swung them into earnings plays. It's just their usage and their revenue is their financials looked really good. So I was like, you know what, my risk to reward ratio on 100 shares down to maybe 35. Like I could lose 1,400 or I can make 1,400 just on shares. I'm gonna take it. And if I can sell some option premiums and collect premium on the way, I'm just gonna do that as well. So that is the position right now. I don't really see too much opportunities, especially in the SPY right now. Not looking good. Meta is my favorite play. I think I might just dabble in this. I might just dabble in a little bit here. This is looking really good on this falling wedge pattern. It did break out. It doesn't have a ton of strength. The volume is really dead here. So that's the only thing that makes me go against my thought process here. NVIDIA, I know, is going to be a banger towards 300. Tesla to 177 here soon. I don't know if it's worth it just swinging something like this overnight, but we can wait and see. Like I said once before, Mondays are very, very brutal. I really kind of just use Mondays to see the setups for the week, see what things are moving, and then kind of chart from there. It's always good to chart on Sundays, but you really kind of have to figure out what the next best move is. And honestly, Datadog looks pretty good to 80, but I don't think it's going to get there. It might slowly squeeze up. But I've really only been trading Tesla, NVIDIA, SPX. That's kind of it. Meta. SPY can dip here. That'd be pretty cool if SPY did dip. There it goes. Now it's starting to push down. Let's see how much these puts are. 320. So they did just move $100. I got in a little early. But I still think it chops. I don't think that these contracts get worth more than like 400 here. Notice how, real quick, this TTM squeeze, notice how this went light green on that drop down. If this starts to get sold off a little bit more, this will slowly start to go light green and start to fade on off. So the stronger it is, the larger these large green candles will be, but they start to sell off and fade into red if this starts selling off. But I don't think that there's enough volume for this to move much anymore. I think we're going to get chop up until the end of the day. That's usually what happens on Mondays. That's why I hate to trade Mondays, unless it's very early on in the morning. But the video was a good catch today. I hope somebody saw me talking about that on Dex channel. Not seeing too much on the SPX side. Coinbase, I still love this stock so much. Just the way it's set up, just the way it trades, it just shows me that there's going to be a rebound here pretty soon. Knock on wood. Lakers going up 3-1 tonight, too. It could be a great night. Microsoft 308. Microsoft is a pretty good stock, too. Do you still own your ETH? Yeah, I have quite a bit of ETH, honestly. I have ETH and Robinhood, don't judge me, and Coinbase. But it's basically all Robinhood, and it's up pretty nicely. It's up 20. It's at 24,000. I'm up 52% this year. So scooped it up around like 1,300 or something like that. Average down though, so I bought a couple more, a little bit. I have about 13.32 ETH in Robinhood, and then I think I have just the same amount in Coinbase too. So I have about 50 grand of Ethereum riding right now. I'm going to try to sell that. My target is 2,700. So, I put in 2,700 is my target. Just at this gap fill right here. It's had some strength pretty nicely. So I'm still waiting for this crack and this VWAP to ride up. So I'm looking at this 2,700 break. If we start to get that next bullish move on crypto, I know Coinbase is going to go crazy too. So that would probably push my shares even up like 3,000. I would end up having like over $100,000 position in Ethereum here, and then I'd probably take 50K out, and then leave 50K in, and then maybe put that 50K down on an investment property or something like that. Maybe throw it in some stocks, but I still think that the market's going to get destroyed here in the near future. Maybe not near future, but once things start really hitting the businesses and the profit margins start to thin out, which is in deflationary environments. But I'm going to take that 50K, probably maybe buy a property down here in Florida, most likely, and then maybe New York City. Probably Florida though, because there's a lot more opportunities down here, and then go from there. But I do feel like we will get another big pullback in crypto. But I am a long term investor in this. I'm not really a crypto trader, so just kind of go off the technicals and what I hear about people, and I've learned a lot talking through crypto experts like on my podcast and all that other stuff. So I'm very confident in it long term. I don't think that the Fed now is going to destroy anything because that's not a decentralized currency. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But looks like the SPY is about to pop up a little bit more here. 15-minute, 5-minute. So yes, Zach, to answer your question, I do still own ETH. I don't really know how I just got into that little rant, but I'm going to buy a farm. I'm going to buy a farm, and then we're going to have a Tradecaster event on the farm. I'm also sponsoring an event. If anybody's in Florida and you're an entrepreneur or looking to start your own business, you want to learn a lot from real estate guys and what else is there? Real estate guys. We got a bunch of I think there's even real estate brokers, some wholesalers, people that own marketing agencies, people that want to start up their own marketing agencies. Some people are traders. There's stock investors, but there's an entrepreneur event down here in Tampa that I am sponsoring. So that'll be taking place in the middle of June. So if you're interested in hearing some entrepreneurs speak, you want to come to I think it's a free event too. So I'll be buying your first drink, and it's a nice event too. It's ran by some really, really intelligent people, some kids down here that are 24 years old, worth $10 million and growing and building massive properties. So it's a big entrepreneur event. It's a great networking event. So if anyone's in the Florida area, and you're free middle of June, I am sponsoring an event, and I do get free tickets. So if anybody wants to come check it out, let me know. Just shoot me a DM. AI crypto coins, VAIOT is high potential for the next bull run. I own some that could 20 to 30x. Zach, I gotta tell you a story, man. Last time, listen to me, I people buying PP coin, all this stuff. People are making a lot of money. I got approached one time to do something outside of my own crypto investments between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I have a little bit of Quant. So Quant is another crypto that I like. Done a little bit of research on it. By little, I mean tons of research. And I kind of I don't have a lot of money in there, but a decent chunk of change. But the one time I went outside of it and somebody told me I was going to 20, 30, 40x my money, I bought something called Epstein coin, and they were really convincing. They told me that it was going to fight against human trafficking, and there was a humanitarian coin and all this other shit. He was so convincing, it wasn't anything crazy, but $5,000. Threw $5,000 in there, and with over the next month or so, I got that thing up to about $97,000. Then it hit 140, 180, and then I tried to sell it at 180 grand. Wouldn't let me sell. Couldn't get out of it whatsoever. Tried to get my initial investment out just to let it ride, and then next thing you know, I checked the coin about a week later, completely flushed me out. So just completely toyed with my emotions, thought I was making a good amount of money off of that. I was going to use that money to reinvest into some other things I have going on. I was going to buy a property again and start doing some long-term investing in real estate, and $0. So I don't trust any cryptos that I don't know anything about, and if I can't pronounce them, and if there's any humanitarian tokens out there, I'm all out. So it's tough. Good research is needed, for sure. I'm okay with Ethereum though. I'm sitting pretty with what I got going on right now. So I'm having a good year trading. I'm okay without the crazy coins that I know nothing about. RNDR, is that a stock? RNDR. Rounder Inc. Nah, this has got to be a crypto. You got to be talking about a crypto stock. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm all out on all the crypto stuff. I have a good contact for you guys if you need to hear about anything. He's really good with the staking and paying himself, and He's got all that figured out. That's just not my forte. Yeah, Ethereum, a great place of value. You won't see those massive percent returns, but if you have a good amount of cash invested, I think that 50K is a good enough chunk of change to make me 100% of my trade, and you can't really be upset about that. I'm up 50% already this year, so if I get to 2,700 and I make about 110 grand off of it, I'll be happy. Boom, boom, boom. All the good projects are built on ETH, so you can't miss. Cannot miss. I heard it's also like the blockchain. The Ethereum blockchain is literally one of the fastest, not fastest growing, but one of the most in abundant growing crypto projects. And I see videos of people in conferences building on the ETH platform, building out these different. They're like hosted on there, right? There's something with Ethereum where everybody's just using that blockchain. So I'm okay with that. As it builds upon it and it takes all the it's almost like dividends. It pays out dividends to people, and they collect all these fees for using their blockchain. It's just you just can't go wrong. So I'm sitting pretty over there. I'll wait for my $2,700 or $3,700 price, 2,700, and if it gets to all time highs, I have a 200K position. I'll be happy. But in the meantime, Coinbase, very, very cheap. If you don't know how to sell premiums or collect money off of that, say you want to buy Coinbase right now and you have $5,700, but you don't want to buy it just yet, you could sell a put and just collect the money that it takes. If you think if you think it's going to go up to like 63, but you think it's going to plunge back, you could sell a put right now, collect $400, just put it in your account, let it run to zero, and that's it. It's a free trade. You just collect your own money. It's like Monopoly, pass and go. And the worst thing that happens if you sell it, you still collect that premium, and let's say it goes against you. All you got to do is just buy those shares. So you just wait longer in the long run anyway. You just collected $400 free dollars. Like, there's something about selling options that people don't understand, and I don't understand why they don't focus on the sell side more than the buy side. I know there's not your max gain, but you're more consistent because options are designed to go to zero, and mostly all of them do unless they're getting squeezed crazy. So, little baby rant. Just look into it. You'll like it. You'll look healthier. You'll look better. I don't like this. I hate this movement. This has only moved like 18 cents. Not going to make any money off this. I'm not going to force any trades in the SPX, especially like this choppy. If I don't see anything in the next 3 minutes, I might have to cut the stream a little early. I tried one little flush, didn't happen, so lost $45. NVIDIA, still a great trade in my opinion. I know I'm going to set you guys up for success when it comes to Tesla, mostly Meta, because Meta could have a massive day here pretty soon. So just keep those 245s on watch. 240s, 245s, 235s if you want in the money. This is setting up pretty, so boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, looks like the puts on the SPY are starting to cook a little bit here. Give it like 15 more minutes here. This is a nice little support line, 412.75. It's only 10 cents away, though. It's not going to pay me any money. It's probably not worth anybody's time, honestly. The 15-minute chart over here on the SPX looks pretty bad. The 1 hour on the SPY doesn't look the best short term over here. Nice little buy signal, but 412.75 could be a good one. Let's see if we can squeak out a little bit of a dip buy. They just went from 400, so value is starting to decrease here. Lots of weakness coming in. Lots of weakness coming in. These are getting cheap. 3 cents. I just grabbed one. We'll see what happens. If it goes down to VWAP, then whatever, but it's only $150. Maybe I'll add to it if we start to get the big, long, lower wick. Notice how the TTM squeeze is coming down a little bit. I just bought the big red dip. We're not close to that VWAP line yet. There we go. Starting to push back up a little bit. Only up 35, 40 cents on one contract. Maybe I should get two here. Nah, sellers got it. You can always tell when the sellers get it when you get that rebound, and then it pushes it right back down to engulf it. So I could wait for this candlestick to close right here on the 1 minute, and this is going to tell us the whole story. So if it gets below this low point, I will cut this. But looks like we're headed in the right direction right now. So we're up about $75 a contract. Might just take that. Never mind. It's going against me. The best part about the SPX is like once you're in the money, you can just set your stop loss at break even and have like no risk whatsoever. And then you can just follow yourself up. So now I can lock in 25 bucks. And if it goes against me, which it looks like it's going to on the weakness, I lock in 25. So push it up to 85. Now if it starts to squeeze, we could make some good money off this. I'll push it up to 200. I'll lock in 50 bucks. So then I'm basically flat from the first trade. So if we see anything near the end of the day in the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we'll be able to get out. So I just locked in 45. So we're basically flat from the trade. I'm only in on one because it's not moving much. But if this starts to rebound and go towards that high of the day, I will be in. And this is why having your stop loss is the best, especially when you're trading SPX. Because if you follow yourself up, you have no risk. There's literally zero risk when you have your stop loss above your entry price. So you have no risk in there, and you're locking in gains. It's one of the best strategies, whether you're buying one contract, two contracts, 20 contracts, 3,000 contracts. Risk management is everything. And you're going to get stopped out a lot when you're trading something like the SPX, or you're going to get stopped out a lot when you're trading something like anything that's volatile, really. When you have a stop loss so tight and you follow it up, you're going to get stopped, and sometimes you'll miss out, sometimes you won't, but your risk is very small. Here we go again. Right here, I just completely dumped. Say I had 10 contracts there. Completely gone, but I had a stop loss that made me money, and now I don't worry about this shit. So, good trade, great trade. Probably would have been better if I was on the put side on that rebound, but minimal risk, make your cash, follow your stop losses up, and then you will have no emotions in this game whatsoever. It'll make you better your entries. It'll make you better risk manage yourself because you'll be able to have that stop. You can push it up, you can follow it, you can play the game, but you need to have one there. So for examples like this, when it dies on you like that, just dropped $100 right away. If you had 10 contracts, it's $1,000 in a second. So make sure you have your stop loss of 150 bucks. So if it does die on you like that, maybe it'll take you out down 220 instead of 150 because it cooked right below you, but you had a stop loss and you didn't lose 1,000. So keep it in mind. We're getting some volatility here. Maybe we'll dabble around a little bit here. We got 41.35s. The 15-minute is looking a little weak. Same with the 30-minute. It's nice little bearish engulfing. If it gets below this VWAP line, it's most likely cooked for the day. I don't really like to take reversal trades unless they're on the Bollinger Bands, especially with the TTM squeeze fading off. But it's only moving 25 cents at a time. So it's not like these are real big moves and option premiums. I know that the other ones are getting cooked, but if we're on the put side, look at this real quick, these 41.40s. Great work today, Traders Deck. You are the man. These are 220s. They ran to 530. Okay, so like this was a pretty decent trade on the downside there, but that's most likely because they're factoring in the option calculation is the time decay, the stock price, and the volatility of the stock. So the volatility here spiked these contract premiums because it's not implied and it's not expected because it's been moving slow all day. So a sudden sharp drop is going to spike these premiums like crazy. So that's kind of the reason it's pushing like this. But we're starting to get some buyers at that VWAP level. If it wants to continue to push, I'm all in. These are at 140. They were 80. There's that push. The craziest thing about the end of the day SPX is that I really love to play, and I know it's super risky, but say you just buy 10 contracts right there, 80 bucks, you're already up $1,100 off that one spike up. It's really kind of crazy how much money you can make at the end of the day on the SPX, but you could get stopped out very fast too. But if you keep those small stop losses, you're almost bound to hit one of those big plays here at some point. But it is very frustrating, and it's very tough to play the SPX this late in the day. So I don't recommend it unless you're a really good trader. You know your levels, you know your exits, you have a stop. So it's probably tough to watch this if I'm playing the SPX like this unless you're really in and out with me. But I try to give you the levels ahead of time just so you know. So the VWAP bounce there on the SPX 4140s, great value, minimal risk on the downside. Now they're up 1,000%. Now they're like 300%, but still 200%. This could be an interesting candle. This could plunge. This could really plunge. I think I might go for this real quick. I'm going to go call side here, these 4140s, if I can get them for like 170. Got it for 190. I'm going to keep a stop loss at 155 though. Question, do I want more of these? I feel like this could really squeeze up. This is a hammer candle, so anytime I see a hammer candle, I really think the buyers come back in, but I have seen this many times where could just completely go red against me. So I'm going to keep my stop at like 165. Keep a $30 stop. It doesn't have enough volume to push up. You see how this volume came in here and now it's kind of dying? It kind of makes me feel like it's going to stall out and fall. So I'm going to keep a real small stop on this one. 35, but if it starts to squeeze, I mean, this is a $200 trade. You know, if it gets back up to this 413 level, that's only 15 cents. This is probably just dead money, guys. This is just like going to go the wrong way. I'm going to keep my stop at 25 bucks. I'm not going heavy yet until I see some volatility. I could add to this if I start to see some buy-side volume, but all this volume came in here and then it just stalled out. I don't really know what that's about. I'm going to push this up to a $20 loss. But you notice how, like, even if I had 10 to 20 contracts right here, if I wanted to switch to 30, buy them real quick, I could literally purchase it right now, keep my stop very small, and I would lose, like, max, like, $400, $300. Like, there's ways that you could buy a lot and keep your loss to a minimum, and then you can follow it up, so there's no risk. So that's where entries are the biggest piece to these. But this is going to stop me out just because it hasn't done a damn thing. The volume just completely died, so that's when it starts to reverse. So I just lost 20 bucks on that trade, and we will actually 15. I don't know why it stopped me out $15 higher or $5 higher, but if this started to push and this was a good green candle and had more volume there, then that would have went. But the fact that it stalled out made me think that there was no room for error on that one. So push the stop loss up, very, very small. Obviously just using one contract right now, just seeing what we can do. But it is Monday, and they are terrible, terrible days on Monday. I had a good day in the morning, but that was just because of NVIDIA. I only traded NVIDIA. I executed the trade about 25 minutes after open and held it for 3 hours. I did not day trade. I didn't really scalp today other than this live. So we're just back and forth. 3 scalps, 2 stop outs, small stop outs, and then basically even. Where are you targeting this move up? I think the target would be above that yellow line. I would think that at the end of the day, with this hammer candle right here, I kind of like this, even though it's not at the bottom of the Bollinger. I do hate that this is red now, though, because usually if this was the reversal sign, you would either see a very, very large lower shadow on this guy for the move up, or a jump towards that 413 pretty soon. But the fact that it's stalling out on this hammer candle doesn't make me think that it's going to go anytime soon. So I think that they're just going to chop these contract values, which is the worst thing that can happen. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to risk like 300 bucks, 400 bucks at the end of the day and see if we can get one of those crazy spike ups. Get a nice little end of day gamble in here. Had a nice day, so I'm looking for a little bit of risk. These contracts are not moving though at all. Oh, I got a little I got a jump actually at 3:30. I got a meeting at 3:30. So looks like I'm not going to be able to take a trade. I will be able to signal it in here if you want me to, but there's no reason to risk your money, guys. There's no reason to risk your money on trading, but if there's anything you got from today, make sure that you keep your stop losses when you're entering into trades. You can follow it up as it goes with you, especially if you're trading the SPX because of how volatile it is. You could lose your gains in seconds. And number 2 would definitely be to look into selling some options plays, because I'm just going to make an easy $400 off of this. The downtrend on SPY. This guy from the 5-minute. That's what I would wait for. I would wait for this run up. If you see a nice little wick shadow here. If you see another green engulfing one here, I'd probably go into it. But this looks like it's starting to slowly fade its way. I'd probably stay away from the SPX, to be honest. But that is a nice little downtrend there. If it breaks it, 412.75, and you can catch that move, then it's great. But it looks really weak right now, so I'd probably stay away from this unless it gets back towards that VWAP level. If it touches it again, it's probably going to break lower from what it looks like, unless you see a big buy candle. But the fact that this massive volume candle came in here and then stalled out with no volume on the next 5-minute candle, that's a no-go for me. I'm all out of that every single time. So if it stayed true with that volume and kind of just stalled up here, I would probably just add to that momentum because that shows me that it's going to break out. But yeah, but I'm going to jump on this call, guys, this little client meeting, and I'm talking a little bit about that entrepreneur event. So if you got anybody's interested, again, if you're near Florida, let me know, and I will get you set up with some free tickets. So not too much action. It is Monday. Mondays are going to always be slow, but keep in mind, Meta is looking really, really good on the daily chart. You don't have to swing it. You don't have to do anything with it, but keep it on watch. You know, if I see this thing even come remotely close to like this 235, 236 range, we could be entering into one of those all-day squeezes. So to that 245 level, great value. Meta does pay when it goes, so keep it in. It's in the event is in Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida. If you're nearby, there's going to be about 400 entrepreneurs there, and it's going to be a really great event. So I'm sponsoring the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing. I'm sponsoring a piece of the event, and it's going to be a good one. So a lot of really smart people, a lot of great value going to be there as well. You can network, build your business, build your brand, shake some hands, and get some free drinks on me. So that's it. Wilson, just DM me, man. And if you're interested, I'll send you some details, and we can go from there. But I got to hop on this call, guys. If I land this client, then I don't know. I'll be happy. So, but if I land it, I'll be happy. If we wish me luck, wish me the best of luck for this. And yeah, that's all. It's for the marketing company, nothing else. But that's all I got for today. Nothing really too crazy. I had a really good day with NVIDIA this morning, but I knew today was going to be choppy. It's just like every Monday is. Tomorrow might be kind of choppy too, just because we don't have that data until Wednesday. But once we get that inflation data, we should see a lot more not chop, but like up and down movements, and we could be able to capitalize on some volatility, especially later on in the day. So I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. And you're right, I don't need luck. I'm going to land this deal. But I love you guys so much. Let me know if you need it. Anything, any help, just message me in the chat or DM me on any one of the social media platforms, and I'll be happy to help. But till then, I'll see you soon.